different times. So the picture emerged for me was this was a crime that was planned.
I suppose most notably about the crime scene was the massive amount of overkill, as we call it, that the injuries sustained by all three were well in excess to have killed them. Normally it's an indicator of an interfamilial killing, and normally it's an indicator of a killing which expresses a large amount of emotion, and normally someone close to the family.
But if you were to picture the four corners of the world, in my world, we were the four. My family, friends, and myself would like to ask anyone out there to please help us.
There's no doubt that he was considered a person which had some questions that need to be asked.
With a better estimate now available on the time of each death, detectives notice a discrepancy in Seth's original account of finding his sister on the night of the murder.
But there was definitely blood coming from that area. And somehow I assumed in my head that her heart's still beating somehow. Because
he said that he gave CPR to her in an attempt to revive her. And it was only later on when the post-mortems were conducted that they realised that Claudine would have been dead hours before. And there was no possibility that she was bleeding or any opportunity to revive her.
Another part of Seth's story they have trouble believing is that he disturbed an intruder in the house.
And we also carried out a time frame study to have one of the investigators go down the stairs, out through the internal door into the garage, lift the lift door for the external door of the garage, and by the time you did that, someone out the front gate, out that side gate, would have been long gone. But he maintained that he'd seen the figure of a person or two people running around the corner.
The police also find a link between Seth and some unidentified bloody shoe prints found at the murder scene.
During the search of Seth's room, I noticed this shoebox on the floor of his cupboard. And that shoebox was of interest because of the shoe prints that had been developed during the examination.
Police purchase an identical shoe to the brand and size on the box and find it matches perfectly the stranger's shoe prints found at the crime scene. The men of Task Force Tawaz decide it's time to call Seth in for some further questioning, but not before he attracts nationwide sympathy when he concludes the eulogy at his family's funeral by breaking into song.
Papa, Mama, Dida. Sorry, I never told you all I wanted to say.
And then I thought to myself, oh my God, is he crazy or what? You know, like, I mean, honestly, I'm sorry to say this, but yeah, I just thought it's crazy.
And I know eventually we'll be together one sweet day.
Palataya, ang ating Panginoon po ang sasagot ng lahat ng yan. Tayong lahat.
Despite the wide sympathy for Seth Gonzalez at his family's funeral, police are now uncovering clear signs that he may in fact be the killer. Seth's computer shows he's made extensive searches on the internet for information about poisons, and detectives find he'd obtained some seeds by mail order that are capable of being converted into a deadly toxin.
It was such a strong poison that in the United States it's categorised as a weapon of mass destruction. And the poison is so strong that just a small amount of it can kill literally hundreds or thousands of people.
Detectives then learn that a week before the murders, Seth's mother was treated briefly in hospital for what was thought to be severe food poisoning. Seth is grilled about the computer evidence.
You're not under arrest.
Yes.
And you are free to leave if you wish to do so, okay? Understand that?
Police gather other evidence that Seth is an habitual and accomplished liar.
Telling his friends that he'd just signed a multi-million-dollar record deal with a music company, to being the world champion kickboxer that had just returned from a title fight in Brazil.
He told people that he was, running modelling companies, that he was flying to New York to meet up with the head of cosmetic companies, that, he was a lawyer and he had his own condo in the city. He told them so many things, and I think this is all part of Seth's fantasy life.
Hey kids, look, Mummy's on television.
Hi to all your school friends.
Seems to be